everybody. It's that time of the week again, bitch. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Old School, New School Comedy Podcast. And I am your host, Christy Miller. I almost got winded on that one.
They're great.
God, it's I love this show, and I love everybody that comes on the show every week to talk shop. And this guy I've known for quite a while.
Yeah.
He's a dear friend, super funny. I watch his hustle and I praise him all the time for his hustle. He has a hit comedy show here in New York where he plays at City Winery. He played at Caroline's on Broadway, at the New York Comedy Festival. His show Spin the Block, which was even in LA at the Improv.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of this guy.
times.
He's about 13 years in, so he's still part of the new school because he came in when social media was already erected. And when I started, there was no electricity. So give it up. This is my brother from another mother. He goes by Size Fen, and but we love him as Fenelon Guillaume.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
I think it's the best intro.
No, I do. You made me smile. Because I'm thinking of changing my handle to just Fenelon Guillaume one time, you know? Because there's nothing really fun size about me anymore. We kind of been.
Well, he is black, so that ain't fun size over there. Jeez.
No, but that warmed my heart. I appreciate the intro for real.
No, you should go
years.
by Fenelon Guillaume. I think that's more sophisticated.
Yeah, I think
and
it's time.
more adult.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think it's time. I think I was just doing that when I first started. It was like I overheard people talking after I left the acting class. They was like, he's cute. No, he's fun size. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just kind of ran with it after that. And then it was like, now I feel like I'm growing into who I really am.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a change. I just don't know the exact handle yet. But maybe I'm thinking too hard.
I think you're thinking about it too much. And what I've noticed in my 7,000 years in this game, even, I came up in the Comedy Store under Mitzi Shore in the 90s. And she would tell the black comics, like Leslie Jones, for example, when she came after I moved to New York to work with Paul Mooney full time. But when Leslie actually came to the Comedy Store and was made a paid regular, she used to go by Les Dog as an example. And Mitzi's like, drop that. You'll never work. You'll be typecast as an urban comic. And you'll never get work because she goes, you're too funny and you're too talented. So she just went by Leslie Jones, and then her whole world blew up. So
just say no more. This is I needed this then.
Yeah.
I've been. It was the last 2 months. I knew I was gonna make the change, but this right now, this conversation was like, okay, it didn't happen for no reason. Like it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, everything. Things come into your path for a reason. People come into your life in and out. Like that old monologue that Medea did about the seasons, people for a season. That shit is so dead ass real that I can't even. It took a black man and a big fat mama dress to tell me what time it was.
First of all, before we get started, I just want to give you your flowers because first of all, I find you so amazing. I remember you came to my show during COVID.
Yes, Barry Ribs brought me to your show.
During COVID, and not only did you pick me up off the stage, I still have that picture.
Do you really? Oh my god, I gotta see it. Because you're so adorable. I'm like, I have to carry him.
But you destroyed, and we just had a great time.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And I was like, yo, we're gonna be friends for life.
Fully.
It's funny how you could meet a comic and you could watch them do a set and you say, oh, I knew them my whole life.
Yep, that's how all my friends are. Like when I first started back in the 90s, like my first week at the Comedy Store, in walks Paul Mooney, and I almost shit my pants. And I've told this story many times on the podcast, and I was like starstruck because this is Paul Mooney. I'm like, he's the professor, and I was still getting the law of the land of the Comedy Store back then. This is 1995, so I'm still learning the laws of the land and how the lineups work and how the paid regular system works and how Mitzi books. And I didn't realize that Paul was a permanent fixture at the Comedy Store. That he closed all the shows. That he had the Kinnison spot. So I was like, okay, Paul Mooney just walked in the building. If I don't say hi to him, I'm going to lose my chance.
Never working again.
I will lose my chance at meeting Mr. Paul Mooney. Because when I was like a teenager and I saw him, I went, oh, this man and I are going to be best friends one day. And I just said that out loud. I was at my mother's house in the living room watching him on TV. He was on a panel show. And then cut to, we met instant. Like we knew each other for 40 years.
That's fire.
Totally. And then he took me under his wing like his daughter. You know, he used to tell people that's my stepdaughter. You know, I know she's white, but she's black. Trust.
I love that.
Yeah, but that and him and Dice also, Andrew Dice Clay, when he
Great
came
human.
into the Comedy Store the first time, I was just a waitress, panicked in my head, having a full-on chick freak out fangirl moment, right? Oh my God, it's Dice! And I'm outside calm. I'm very Meryl Streep at the register. Very Meryl Streep. In my head, meltdown.
Yeah.
And I'm just ringing in drinks. And he comes in with his wife, Trini, at the time. And there people are talking. And I'm just by myself, doing my thing, just trying to avoid him. Like, be cool. Everything's great. You're cool. You know, like trying to talk myself out of having a freak out. And all of a sudden, he walks over and he leans on the counter next to the register, looks at me dead, like this close, and goes, I'm Andrew.
Wow.
What's your name?
Wow.
And I was like, Christy. And I just kind of blew him off. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to die. And we became like brother and sister in that moment.
Such a great human, man.
Yeah.
Such a great, and you was around the time where stars was really stars. It wasn't like Instagram, it wasn't TikTok. No offense to those people too, but I'm just saying that was the time where people said their names in offices and coffee shops. And
you had to put your tape in a manila envelope with your resume and your headshot and send them to bookers. Back in the day. Now it's just a link. It's so, I mean, I love it now because it's so easy and it's so much cheaper. But man, having to make copies of tapes, and Mitzi would never let you tape at the Comedy Store unless you begged her, kissed the ring, ate her booty hole or something, because she didn't want cameras inside the Comedy Store because that was sacred ground. You know, you don't film the Comedy Store, like it's off limits.
What a world.
And so, you know, now it's like everybody films there and it's all open, you know, open fire, but it's like, you know, Richard Pryor used to come in 3 nights a week at the store when I got there.
Man, I watched all the documentaries, all the stories. It's just like, to be a part of that, to be present, to remember it. Like, some people are a part of the story, but they're not present. They're so trying to climb the ladder that they didn't really build friendships with an Andrew Dice Clay or build friendships with a Paul Mooney. They wasn't present enough to just say their name or be vulnerable or whatever, you know. So that's
it was a different time back then. Like, we were all a family. When you were a Comedy Store, you were like, we still to this day, we look at each other like your store, you know, your family. You're a paid regular. It's like this weird bond, you know. When I went home with, you know, I was on the road with Dice those few weeks. We were in LA for a little while, staying at his house, and then I took off one night to go to the Comedy Store. I'm like, hey, I got to get away from you. But he doesn't go out. He doesn't, because he doesn't have to. So I'm like, I miss the store. I miss my home. So I met some other friends of mine there, and we went in, and I, you know, they're like, hey, do you want to do a Fallout? You're old school Comedy Store. Wow, you're from the 90s? They were freaking out. And I'm like, yeah. You know, my name's been painted on that building for 24 years.
How did it feel when you first got painted on? Like, what was that feeling like?
I cried. I cried big time. And it was funny, I have pictures of me under my name there at the time, back then. And it was only like to this part of the wall. Everything was blank. Everything on the top was blank. The wall, everything. Now everything's covered with names.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
That's fire.
So I'm like, yeah, it's been over a long time.
Great work. Great job. Great testament to your resume.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's part of my upbringing. You know, it's just where I come from. But it's like when I went home, it was like I never left, but I felt like so far away at the same time. Because things have changed, and you see the new kids that are taking over, and the whole new staff there is phenomenal. They're all really great, and they really welcomed. I didn't know how they were going to treat me, because they're like, oh, we don't know.
I know you did crack them on Thursdays a couple of times, I'm pretty sure.
That happened after I left.
Oh, okay.
I did. I left in 2005. I came here.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been gone. I left right as things were starting to shift in the comedy world when it came to like people going out to shows. So my decade there was the dark days. Like all that shit about the dark days at the store.
Yeah.
I lived that.
Wow.
And I was the waitress.
This was before what's his name brought Fat Tuesdays this week?
No, Guy Torrey brought Fat Tuesday to the Belly Room.
Oh, to the Belly.
And me and Eleanor Kerrigan and Lauren Peltz were the only waitresses that weren't scared of black people.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy up there, and it would get so packed, and Guy was doing his thing that they moved it to the main room, and it would sell out every Tuesday, and it kept the lights on.
Wow.
And it was insane, and the regulars that would come every week to the shows, and we were just little waitresses back then, and you know, we weren't afraid of people. And then Guy Torrey went off to work on a movie or something. Then Buddy Lewis took it over, and Buddy Lewis is a lot, you know, Guy's a little more gangster, a little more street, hilarious. And then Buddy Lewis took it over when Guy went to work on the movies, and Buddy's more, you know, cruise ship, corporate, clean, TV, because he was a warm-up guy. Buddy Lewis did warm-up for television. So that's where so the whole vibe changed, and he made it more lighthearted, and like, that was like one of the last times Tupac was alive. I was a waitress up there, and he was buying shots of Hennessy for everybody. And Mr. Pete, our bartender, was sweating. We run out of Hennessy. We were trying to get shit. He asked me, you know, Pac was so sweet, and I knew his head of security, Luke Renage, who was killed prior to that by the Oakland PD. That's a whole nother story. But you know, Luke, his brother Mike, dated my best friend, so I knew all those guys, and he got killed by him and his dad were shot by the police over a dog. Wow. And it was horrible, and it's a long story. And Cochran was gonna represent them, and then he ended up dying because he sold his soul to the devil with OJ. And it's just like, Pac is just like buying everybody. So just everybody, I'm paying for everything. And he was so sweet. He tipped me so well. He was the sweetest guy in the entire universe. And I was like, don't say nothing. Because I was going to say, dude, I know Luke Grenache. Because that would have probably shifted his whole energy that night and probably put him in a sad mood or made him cry. So I just backed off. I'm like, it's not my place. This isn't the time. Let him have fun. And then later on, he got shot.
Damn.
You know. But it was like, but the memories in that building, like the stories of people that would come there, even in the dark times, man.
When I'm there, like when I go back and forth to LA, when I'm there, it feels like you can still feel it.
You feel the history.
Yeah, you can feel it. It's like one of them rooms where, like, okay.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it's
I played a lot of clubs across this country. I've been in a lot of comedy clubs. Nothing is like the Comedy Store.
It's a powerful room, for sure.
Like we were like the misfits, you know. The Improv was all the corporate cruise ship guys, and then the Laugh Factory was the WB and the UPN network, you know, all the Wayans brothers. And then we used to say we're Animal House, like it was 3 fraternities, and we were like Animal House.
Wow, I like that term.
Yeah,
I like that.
It was 3 fraternities, and like back in my day, if you were a paid regular at the Comedy Store, Mitzi did not allow you to play to the other clubs because she felt that you're going over there, you're putting money in their pocket. You live, this is your home.
Yeah, I heard about all of that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we'd have to sneak over.
They still got shit like that in New York too, though. You know.
Oh, Estee's like that at the Cellar. Esty is a lot like she'll make her comics work so much that they can't play other clubs.
Yeah.
And if she finds out you're playing other clubs, she won't book you anymore.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
She likes that kiss the ring. It's like Este's, I always say Este's like Mitzi from Tinu. and I love her. She's crazy. I love Este. She's awesome. But, you know, it's the Cellar. The Cellar is its own thing.
Yeah, it's a big gym. The biggest gym in the world. Well, one of the biggest gyms in the world.
It's the second.
Yeah, second.
The second. It's only 30-something years in. The Comedy Store's 50-something years in.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, you know, Louis C.K. put the Cellar on the map. With his
show. Yeah, for sure. So, it's great work, though, you know. And wherever it is, you know.
Stage time is stage time.
Room and chairs, you know, but, you know, you bring your best when you get those opportunities to perform.
Hell yeah.
You know, so.
Well, it feeds you. You feed the energy. You know, opening for Dice compared to, like, doing a regular club show here that could have anywhere from, like, 8 people to 100 people. And then you go into 1,500 seat theaters with the Icon.
I feel like, not to cut you off,
that's okay, baby.
I feel like these rooms, what makes these rooms great or what makes these rooms good is the fact that a comic walks in the room, the name drop of Comedy Store or Comedy Cellar already validates that you're funny. So we don't have to prove that we're funny. We just gotta maintain that we belong, in a sense. You know what I'm trying to say? It's
you just
like,
gotta represent.
You just gotta represent, because it's like the pressure's really off you. It's like, oh, he's here already, or she's here. You could really just kind of fly, because their guard is a little.
We used to call that in LA at the store. We used to call it the 7-minute grace period.
Yeah.
And it could be anybody. You know, I remember there was times when Seinfeld was working on his documentary. Remember that show?
Yeah, I remember.
Comedian?
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That was amazing, yeah.
And he would just go to the clubs, and they'll give you that 7-minute grace period if you're famous. They'll go with you, but after 7 minutes, you better bring it, because now they're getting annoyed.
Yeah, for sure.
And in New York, I always feel like it's the 5-minute grace period, because it's a little faster paced here.
And urban rooms, I give it a 30-second grace
urban
period.
rooms, you get a 3-second grace
3
period.
seconds, yeah.
You pick up that mic, motherfucker. I've watched motherfucker. Come on, you know.
Yo,
you see
why is short like that? Oh my God!
You can see a motherfucker grab the mic, and you hear boo.
Already, I'm like, damn. All I did was grab the mic.
But do you understand? Like, that's like the differences between like urban rooms and the mainstream white.
Yeah. They're gonna test you immediately.
The urban rooms, and I always tell people. I go, one thing about, especially like the Paul Mooney room, you know, and they go, because people ask me like, how do you go from Mooney to Dice? It's the same extremism.
Yeah.
It's the same hardcore fanism. You know, they're diehard Mooney. That's it. They want Mooney, and that's it. It's Dice. They want Dice. So you got to bring it. And if you're just yourself, they'll let you. You know, they'll love you. And with the urban rooms, man, they will tell you straight up exactly what they. But the cool thing is too, is if you lose them in an urban room, you can get them back, because they're rooting for you.
Yeah, they want you to win.
Yeah, white rooms, they just cross their arms and go, this is terrible. I don't like this. This is awful. We should call the cops.
Yeah, that's stare.
Where's the manager?
Would you rather a boo or a stare? You rather a boo or a stare? Where they're just looking at you, just like.
I love all of it. A boo and a stare, honey. Boo me and stare at me. I'll take you on. You know me. I don't give a shit.
Either way,
I'm swinging. Like when we went to LA, Dice was telling his sons. He goes, I come around the corner down the hallway to the kitchen. You know, this whole kitchen area. We're sitting at the island, and he goes, all of a sudden you hear him. She just walked out and attacked them, all fucking 1,500 of them. I came out, and I was like, I heard them talking, and he goes, I just told them how great you were, and I was like, oh yeah, the first 3 rows didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
I annihilated them because it's fun, you know, and they love that shit. They feel like they're part of the show. Let Dice be the king. That's his show. They're there for him. I'm there to have fun and zhuzh him.
I love when comics understand that too. Like sometimes, actually a lot of the times, you just gotta let the headliner be the headliner. You know, everybody's trying to like supersede or like overstep. It's just like, yo, just
do your shit.
Have fun and do your shit. Like, it's the audience wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for the headliner.
Yeah,
so,
it ain't there for you.
Yeah, so
and I'm like, all
have
you are,
grace.
All you are is just a fucking mouthpiece.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of comics lack grace sometimes, and they don't, because granted they do have great talent, but remember why you're there. It's like sometimes
it's not always about you.
Yes, they bump their head so much.
Yes, it's not always about
so
you.
much.
So with me, if I'm opening for Dice, I do some stuff because we'll talk on the phone about like, okay, what material are you doing now? Because I'm doing this, this, and this. I don't want our material to cross over, which we've done before on the road. I've done stuff that he did, and I didn't know he was doing it, and he didn't know I was doing it. So we talked about it, and I said, just tell me what you that you don't want me to talk about, the topics, and I have plenty of arsenal. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Because this is your show. I'm here to set it up. So all you have to do is relax and enjoy yourself.
What a great teammate! What a great person to help us.
It's not about me.
It's a team game. We're all winning at the end. When the license done and we in the car, we at the diner after talking. We all won. You know what I'm saying?
Well, everybody wins, and it's like I'm there to warm up the crowd for him, I'm not there to upstage him. I could never upstage Andrew Dice Clay anyway. He's an icon, and that man is a genius. So for me, it's like I want to give them the best show as a warm-up, get them in the greatest mood, have fun. I'm going to do shit he doesn't do. So I'll do the shit he doesn't do, so he can be free to do his shit.
Likewise.
You know, and you know, like
I follow that same formula.
Yeah, and it's like, and there's like comics that, you know, I always call them. I talk about this on the show a lot. The Cult 45. The guys that write 45 minutes and they haven't written another joke since.
Yeah.
They've been cruising on that 45 for 20, 30 years, and they wonder why they're not getting anywhere. It's like because we've seen it.
Yeah.
So
that's called insanity. If you do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Well, like comics too get scared when their opener or their feature is funnier than them, makes them work, and they don't want to work.
Yeah, they don't want.
But the thing is, what they don't understand, what maybe I don't understand, because like when I did my album, Brutally Yours on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you stream. My shameless plug.
No, I love
it. When I did that, I had Teddy Smith do 10 minutes in front of me and then bring me up. Because I knew Teddy Smith, who's one of the funniest motherfuckers in New York, was going to crush hard. So the crowd would be up here, ready for more. And I can just scoot on in and just enjoy myself.
When I headline, I always bring people that are better than me. Or like, you know, will push me up.
Yeah.
You know, I have no fear, you know. Yeah. I feel like I ride a confidence, and I actually enjoy when people don't like me, because it helps me find my people faster, you know. So I just ride. Like, I don't want to imagine playing a game with everybody that you're better than. How are you ever going to become great?
Yeah, you're going to become worse.
Yes.
You're going to degress.
Yes.
And it's like people, you know, it's so funny how people are just so scared, like, of someone doing better than them, because all I look at it is, fuck, they just crushed. I gotta fucking, all right, girl, turn it up to 20. Let's go, bitch.
I get to the point where like, yo, did you see my friend? Did you see Christy? Did y'all see her? Like,
yeah, I get excited.
I'm one of them guys.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I get thoroughly excited, you know.
I get amped when someone kills. I get excited. I'm like, because then I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. I'm gonna ride that shit.
But I truly believe though, like, what's for me is gonna be for me. So I never really have a hating bone in my body, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm a competitor, so when I'm like, oh, if I see you crush, I'm like, oh, she must be writing crazy. I gotta start writing more. I gotta do this. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? It just pushes me to up my game, but it's never any like hate or anything like that.
No,
I don't have that.
Yeah, and so many comics do have that, which is sad. Because you see it, you see it. Well, you know, there's people we can name drop, but you know, nobody cares about those.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but
the shade of it all, darling.
You know what's crazy? When you really look at the circle of people that are hating or giving negative energy, you look at this circle, they're nowhere you want to be. Like, they're nowhere you want to, not even close. So it's like, follow the group of the winners, you know. The winners are actually out here doing great things, you know.
I always say surround yourself with people at your level or higher.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to force you to step up to the game and fucking play hard.
Yeah, the people that I see talk the most shit, I'm like, they're not doing anything, like, at all. So if this is all they have is to talk about you, then I could have that, man, because I'm on to the next.
Well, always remember too that, you know, negative publicity is probably the best publicity, and now with social media has taken negative publicity to a whole new level. In the sense of now, if you get canceled, you get rich. Like, I did Opie Radio a couple weeks ago, and they've been posting a lot of clips, and Opie was like, what do you think of the Amy Schumer? And I go, Chuck Schumer? Oh, he's hilarious. I live for Chuck, darling. Not that fat pig. And I let her have it. He goes, are you worried about getting canceled? I go, what? I go, I have nothing. My career's in the shitter, honey. I go, what are you going to cancel? My gym membership?
Hilarious.
I go, you can't take zero from a zero, honey. Try it. I dare you, Amy Schumer. I dare you.
Great. Try it,
bitch. Please help me out, because you have a name. You'll get me some fucking publicity, bitch.
You know what I mean? First of all, you got a great soul, great spirit. So Nobody's gonna take what's for you. I'm telling you, it's coming,
I'm
and it's gonna
doing
come
my
in
thing.
droves.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I see it. I see it already. Yeah.
Yeah.
This comedy game is just a beautiful thing, man. And like you said, surround yourself with good people, great people that mean well. You know, it is such a transactional game, which is so sad that it's like, oh, you do this for me, I'll do this for you, and it's not as genuine as people may perceive. But don't let it change your heart or who you genuinely are, because I know mad people that could have made me sad or bitter because who I helped or whatever, but I never let them change me. I help more, actually. I just help a different group, and hopefully they would appreciate it, and hopefully they will acknowledge it. But if not, then I'll help nobody's breaking my heart and my spirit at all.
Because you're smart. You don't give people that much power over you.
Yes.
And when you let someone dominate, like you do, like when people, it is an eye for an eye. That's what life is. You do for me, I do for you. That's just the way it goes. That's the yin and yang. That's the give and take. There's always, no one does things for you in this industry unconditionally. There's always something in it for them. And so if someone asks you for help, you have to ask yourself, what's in it for me? Whether is it, do I feel good doing this? Is this gonna, is this gonna help my career? Or is this just gonna make me feel happy because I can help somebody and I'm in a position to? Or am I gonna get some money from, or whatever it is? It could be as simple as, gratitude, or it could be as shallow as money or sex,
I feel sad for the guy that possibly sucked P. Diddy's dick and then had to go to and then watch P. Diddy go to jail the next day and couldn't reap no rewards. It's like, I was expecting promises, but Diddy's in jail now.
I sucked Diddy. We're gonna make merch for Diddy. I sucked Diddy's dick and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
Man, Diddy's gonna post bond. Bond denied. No!
I'll be missing you. Only when I shoot my load, honey. Because I'm in jail. Fucking Diddy. See, we knew about him back then in the 90s and stuff. We knew about the Diddy, the white parties in Calabasas.
You know about the parties?
Oh, we stayed away from that shit. That was some creepy ass shit.
Yeah.
And friends of mine went once because she was my friend, my best friend, and
everybody
then her
be
friend.
Curious. They don't want to believe the stories.
Well, the thing is, she was like, "Oh, it's music," because she directed back then. A friend of mine directed rap videos, music videos. So she did Tupac and a few other rappers. So she went thinking it's networking, and I'm like, "Don't go, girl. It's not for you, girl. You got the wrong plumbing, honey. Unless you want to be sold." And they got there, and they lasted about 5-10 minutes, and they ran out. They couldn't believe what they saw. And I said, "Yeah, now you know.
Yeah.
Stay out of Calabasas, honey. Diddy put the ass in Calabasas." Nothing? Come on, people. That's good writing.
That's good. I haven't heard that.
I just made it up. That's why.
I love that.
So dumb.
Dumb shit be
dumb hitting. Shit make me hard.
Yeah, because everybody's trying to be so woke and smart. People just want to laugh. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, that's why when I roast people, I just go in. I just let it loose. I don't give. I address every elephant in the room.
Just go in.
I just go nuts, and it's so fun, and they love it because it comes from love. I come from love, and I don't have an angry bone in my body. And I really, I always laugh and say I hate people, they suck, but I really don't.
No.
I'm rooting for it because I want us all to win. That's my thing in life. I want everybody to win because that dinner table is endless.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of food for all of us.
It really is, man. And then winning, like, if you win by yourself and you don't have your peers around or your people that you really care about, it's like, what's the point? I mean, obviously taking care of your family and reach your goals, but it's like to be around your friend that you started with and y'all could go to the store, have lunch and everything. I think that's a great vibe. And then throughout all of it, you've been a genuine person as well. It's like, it's just amazing,
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing I loved about the Comedy Store and coming up there was like, I still have everybody in my life from the last 29 years of my life there. So I'm able to You know, it's like we're family forever, so I will always have them in my corner.
I love that.
You know, and it's and it doesn't matter how much time passes. It doesn't matter, and that's the beauty of it. And that's when you know you found your tribe.
So what's one thing you would change about the comedy game?
The thing I would change about the comedy game is how people judged comedy. Well, two things. I would get rid of cancel culture and tell people we're basically journalists with a comedic sense of humor. We just report on life and stuff. Why are we the bad guys? And it's like, because people can't control what's really going on, so to deflect, they pick on us.
Okay.
So that, and I had also changed the fact that people get booked and get everything because of how many followers they have. Because just because you have a lot of followers doesn't make you a headliner. And you know, people that I know that have a lot of followers because they were already headliners and had a name and then had a following when the social media came out. But it's like these kids that are coming up that don't really have an act, but they have a online presence with sketches, which is fine. Go to Second City with that shit. Don't clog up the comedy club stages.
I seen a lot of comics with, like, you know, followers or blue checks. Unfortunately, they don't fill up the room as much as club owners think they will. And that's unfortunate. But what's really unfortunate is that I don't mind them with their followers or whatever, because they put work through their sketches and everything, and I appreciate that too. But what they don't realize is that they're missing the work, because they're assuming that just because they have these followers, they're gonna come to the show, but they're missing the active engagement with their audience. They're really asking them to come out. They just assume, oh no, they know me, I'm gonna be there, but they're not really doing the work. So it's like, it just strips away. There's so much to this art that you can't half-ass, and I see a lot of that going on, and that's what gets me mad. Not the followers, it's like, you got the followers now. Actively engage with them so they could actually come out and come to the show. And
there's one guy in COVID who broke out because of his Snapchat filter. He would do his family, they're all Italian, with Snapchat funny face filters, and he would do the whole family. He went viral. Well, this guy, Anthony Rodia, okay, this guy literally is the one I've seen. Show me more, because I don't know. But he's one that I know that I can say, this motherfucker went viral with his little sketchy, funny, stupid videos. But this fucker has grinded and busted his ass and has become a national headliner, a legit headliner, a legit, like, funny, developed, like, he's really funny, and he has really, like, he's really found himself. And I'm like, that's the grind I would like to see all these kids have. And they don't, like, if you don't have that grind that we have, especially growing up in the 90s and before the internet really didn't, Instagram came out in like 2010. And Twitter was like 07 or 08, because Ashton Kutcher was the first one to get 1 million followers. Everybody thought that was crazy. And then the comedy club started saying, oh, comics have to have 1 million followers to get people, to get booked. So people would buy followers, and they'd find out they were all buying bots and shit. So it was a whole fiasco. We're going through it again. But it's like, if you don't have that grind and that hustle and hitting the trenches and playing these shitty road gigs and these horrible off-the-path clubs, like in bumfuck nowhere, you really don't get to see the salt of the earth people. The people that really come out to comedy clubs, because they don't treat it as, oh, well, Fen's coming to this. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm going to get tickets to see Fen. Not necessarily going, they're more of the built-in fan base of the comedy club in their little town, and they go every weekend and they support.
Even, like, I've seen, like, comics with a lot of followers, they'll do radio in the morning, and then their show will be empty, and they'll come to the club and be like, but I did the radio. So that's all you did was the radio? Like, there's just so much more to making people want to come out and spend their disposable income to watch you perform.
Because they don't understand.
That they, like, and that's the part
they
that's
think
just
that's
like,
hustle.
And that's the part that saddens me. It's like, no, y'all already got a leg up. Y'all got a great platform. It's just, work it. He didn't really work it, you know. But
you know who was the greatest
you know,
hustler when it came to before the internet? It wasn't a household name, but this fucker would be out in Times Square. He'd have a whole weekend at Caroline's, and he'd be in Times Square barking his own shows, and then that night go in and do an hour and a half.
Wow.
Cat Williams.
Wow. Yeah.
That man would come in, and he would be right out there at Times Square.
Yeah, I can see that.
And handing out tickets, talking to people.
He's like that now.
Yeah, but that's how he built his empire.
Yeah.
Hustling. That man has a hustle in him that I've never seen anybody else have.
I love that.
And that's why he's who he is.
I love that.
He doesn't answer to anybody.
Yeah, he's selling out shows, selling out Barclays, selling out the Garden. He's just the man.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to stand-up and the wealth of material. And
he helps people.
Yes.
That man helps so many people, and he needs. I'm giving him his flowers.
Yeah, Cat Williams, you need your flowers, man. The
and
stories we hear is just.
But he'll tell you, I don't need my flowers. I got my people done. I hooked them up.
Yeah.
But,
what a great soul. But you know, I inspire you to also be like that. You know, just I got a big heart, man, and I give and I help, and it's like I don't want nothing in return. And I just want to just keep my heart, you know, as pure, just like that, you know.
Well, you are. You're a good soul.
Yeah,
and if you weren't, I wouldn't have you on the show.
I appreciate that.
I ain't let no motherfucker in my house with some shitty ass soul.
Yeah, no, that's real.
But let's talk about Spin the Block.
Yes.
Let's talk about all that goodness that you got going. And October 10th, we have to promote too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, how did that come about?
Spin the Block came about when I was performing in all these mainstream rooms, right? And then after I headlined Caroline's myself, there was this feeling I felt, Christy, that honestly, I never felt this before in my life. It was just so fire. Like people come out, I really felt like that. What celebs feel?
Yep.
I felt that. Like family came out, friends came out, people that loved and supported me came out. And I said, you know what? I don't want to just have this feeling all to myself. And then I created Spin the Block because they wanted me to do more shows there. So I created Spin the Block so all comics could experience that same feeling, no matter what level you are too. So I would pair newcomers with the mainstream, with the national headliners, and they get to see and feel the mainstream vibe, the mainstream room. So that's what Spin the Block was, you know, just bringing all these different diverse stories so they could be heard and seen in mainstream platforms.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
those have been very successful. I've been watching you for a few years now. Watch you grow. It's been fun.
Thank you.
It's been fun. I love to see people on the grind and really doing their thing and creating their own lane. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the cookie cutter A plus B equals C. It could be A plus 0 equals pi, you know?
Yeah.
Look at my career. I'm on a weird trajectory, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm still here, damn it.
I used to say that nobody's coming to save us, so, you know, we got to save ourselves, and in the process, why not save a few others while you're doing it, you know?
I save the people that I love, you know, people that have had my back, but also make me fucking laugh.
But that's what's really Spin the Block is. It's like I could have left. Caroline's gave me 8-9 shows. I could have just did 9 more hours or 9 more. But I was like, nah, let me just bring my friends along. Let me just do that. So I always spread love, you know. But that's just who I am, man. You know. It was to the point, there was Fan, you can't put everybody on the show. You can't. And I'm like, hi, but I don't know how long I'm going to have it. I literally would talk to Jen. Jen is my mentor to this day, Jen Piccarello. She was like, Fan, you can't put, she was like, kid, you can't put everybody on the show. I said, Jen, I don't know how long they're going to let me in these doors, but until then, everybody's coming in. I was having the door open, everybody coming in, everybody. They was like, all right, Fan, there's a limit now.
Yeah, they have to put a limit. That's what I love about, I always tell people, white rooms show 75 to 90 minutes, you're in and out. Black rooms, 7 hours. It's like a Jerry Lewis telethon. And motherfuckers will stay. And they'll stay for every comic. They're getting their goddamn money's worth. Goddamn. So, that shit is hilarious.
I had to learn how to shorten the lineup. I had to learn how to be selective. I had to learn how to do a lot of things. But my initial plan and thought, and I'm still doing it, but my initial plan was yo, I don't know how long I'm in here, but till out, the door is open. Everybody come in.
Yep.
Everybody come in.
I know that feeling.
And I watched a lot of comics get passed. I watched a lot of people get booked on mainstream rooms. I watch a lot of people now doing New York festivals and all that stuff. So it's great.
It's
awesome. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good.
Good. Well, you should.
Yeah.
So October 10th.
Yeah. October 10th, we're doing Spin the Block auditions, right? So Spin the Block auditions is like before. This had to say. I had to create this so it could save me from myself.
Yeah.
Because I used to just book my friends, and then sometimes they're not ready for the lights.
Yes.
They're not ready for the lights of a Hollywood Improv or Caroline's or City Winery, and then it would devalue your show.
Yes. You're only as funny as your shittiest comic.
Yes. So what happens? I create these auditions. So now you can't blame me. Oh, Fen ain't booked me on the show. No, the people don't want you on the show.
Yeah, you suck.
The judges don't want you on the show. You know, so the Spin the Block auditions, we have judges, we have a live band, we have the audience, you know, picking the winner off of like stage presence, originality, creativity, all of that stuff, you know, is gonna be taken into play, and with laugh per minute, you know. So yeah, the Spin the Block audition was created so we can, you know, vet the people who's really trying to work. Yeah, you know,
and get out the low hanging fruit. When you start letting shitty people on, and it cheapens your brand hard.
And when they see the judges like yourself, because you're going to be on there, when they see the people with the accolades and the resumes, giving them the feedback, because we get the feedback right on the spot, like right after you're done.
Nice.
So if you really can handle, you know, criticism and, you know, information on how to get better, these are the people you want to hear from. People that are touring with Andrew Dice Clay or traveling around the world. Like you want to hear it from these people that are really working.
I see. So there's a lot of like audition shows here in the city I've seen, and it's like open micers judging open micers.
Oh yeah.
And it's probably the most cringiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Because I sit there and I go, who the fuck are you to talk to these people? You ain't shit.
Yeah.
The fuck out of my face. You ain't funny at all.
I used to always have like, I would have like a celebrity judge, and I would always have like a judge of someone from the Comedy Cellar that's passed.
Right. Yep.
Just because all of these comics, especially now, this is what they inspired to get to.
That's their
goal.
So
it's good to hear feedback from them.
Yes.
Not necessarily me, you know, but from them, it's like, oh shit, you know, this is what it takes. So I think that's dope. And then we got a live band, and it's just fun, you know. And then we always start with like a comic that's doing it right now, you know. So it's just a fun time. No pressure, because we're not. That's another thing we strip away with the auditions. We're not like the comedy club where you gotta be so rigid and be perfect and be worried. I just want you to be free. We know what's funny.
We know, and also you gotta, because I used to judge contests all the time years ago. I would judge comedy contests, and there was a kid one time. He's a year in. 1 year, this kid. He was from Connecticut. I don't remember his name, and I'm watching him, and I'm like, this kid's got it. And if this kid quits, I'll shoot him myself.
Wow.
So after the show, I pulled him aside. I said, if you quit comedy, I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah.
I go, you have it. You're a great writer. Your timing is on point. You know, you're everything.
That's why I want you to judge him, because I know you're gonna give it to them so real. And that's why
I love good comedy. I love comedy. When somebody's funny, I'm gonna fucking fight for them. And there's people that I've seen at these contests over the years. I was like, I walked up to them and they said, what did you think? And I go, you should quit comedy.
Yeah.
You should really, I'm sorry, it's not for you. If you want to keep doing it and you're having fun, then keep doing it because you're having fun. But it's not for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to be that person, but sometimes it's really fun.
But,
but you know, constructive criticism it's so important to have, but it's also really important to not judge because you don't like them.
And you know, one thing I really love about my Spin the Block auditions, it's an actual win. So like when you do win, you really do get to perform at the next Hollywood Improv. You really do get to perform at the next Spin the Block City Winery. You really do get. It's not like, you know, I say, oh, you win, and sometimes it's cash value too. Sometimes they say you win, and it's like, what did I win? Like, no, you're gonna perform in these rooms, and then you're gonna show.
You're part of our roster.
Yeah, you're part of the roster now.
You're part of the crew.
Yeah, we're outside. You've been made. You know, so it's so fun.
Because then you can franchise your Spin the Block All-Star
Exactly.
Your Spin the Block Headliner Series.
Exactly.
If you Spin the Block auditions in all these towns, you can make a lot of money doing this and make a TV show out of it too.
So that's always been the plan. That's always been the plan. Putting the treatments together, everything. You know, I've been.
Well, we'll talk. We'll talk. We got those things we could do.
Of course.
But I'm so excited you're here.
Man, I'm so happy as well.
I love you very much.
I love you too, love.
That you're here.
I love you too. I love you too.
And October 10th, Spin the Block
at 275 Park, you know, in Brooklyn. Ray DeJean's room. Ray DeJean's my mentor as well. So give a big shout out to Ray DeJean, producer of Laughaholics Comedy. So yeah,
he's a good dude. He's a really
used to
good
do it
dude.
at the Lindenwood Diner and everything. Constantly producing, and he just does it all. So give it up to Ray DeJean.
Exactly. And I always wrap up the show. This is my silly segment of 2 questions. And my first question that I love to ask my comics who join me on the show is there a bit a comic has done that made you go, God damn, that was brilliant, I wish I had written that, and what was it? These are fun questions.
There was actually a bit that I seen the other day.
Really?
Oh my God, this is too funny. He said, "Fool me once." I don't know this whole. I don't want to fuck it up, but he said, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on you for picking on me. Fool me 4 times. Okay, now it's back to shame on me." So he just kept going and going, and I started crying.
He just drove it in. It's hilarious.
Yo, when I tell you this bit is probably it's so funny.
Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
I don't remember his name. I listened to it like 7 times.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh man, it's so funny.
But I love it.
Shout out to who you are. You know who you are, so shout out to who you are because that's so funny, man.
Yeah, I love asking that question because I have a list of bits that I'm like, why didn't I think of that? It was right there.
Oh, and Tyler Fisher did a bit about the short guys. We the ones that's best at having sex. I was like, oh, I said that. He's like, yo, we got the most energy. We're gonna give it all we got. We never know when we're gonna get it again. I said, oh, Tyler.
Oh, that's so funny.
You're so good, Tyler.
That's so great.
So good.
It's so because it's also inspiring and it helps you pull out your creative juices. And the last question is, because I worked with Paul Mooney for so many years, and he would close his shows with street jokes, but he would Mooney-ize them and destroy. And we're old comics. We like to sit around telling stupid street jokes, dad jokes, and make each other laugh on the stupidity of it. What's your go-to street joke? Do you have one?
My go-to street joke? You know, I really... I don't think I have one, Christy.
Wow.
A go-to street joke?
Not like, let's see, what's one of my favorites is, I think, I'm trying to think of like one of my favorite ones. Like, I love like the guy, like, what do you call a guy with no arms and no legs laying on your front porch? Matt. You know, like stupid shit like that. And I told it to a friend of mine. I said, what do you call 2 guys with no arms and no legs hanging over your living room window? Kurt and Rod. Or like my other favorite is a priest and a rabbi are sitting in Central Park on a bench, and this 12-year-old goes by on his skateboard, and the priest looks at the rabbi and goes, man, I sure like to fuck him. And the rabbi goes, out of what? You know, street jokes.
I'm not.
He's too cool for street jokes.
No. You know what's crazy? I don't want to be too cool. Being too cool, you end up freezing to death. I wish I knew more. I want to be as corny and as weird and as fucking free as possible. I don't want to be too cool at all, you know.
Well, my buddy Mark Riccadonna has a book that he sells. It's the front half. If you fold it on one side, it's all clean street jokes, and if you flip it backwards, it's all the dirty ones. And it's hilarious because we're stupid. We love dumb jokes.
Yeah, for sure.
But I love you so much, honey.
I love you too. Thanks for having me.
Oh no, thanks for being
Honestly,
on.
I don't take our relationship for granted. I think you're just a beautiful person, a beautiful soul. I can't wait to work with you more.
I know. We're gonna have a great time. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. A lot going on.
For 2025, people. Stay tuned.
Yes. I'm truly inspired by everything you do.
Tell everybody where they can find you on the socials.
Okay, yeah, you can follow me at Size Fen. Again, we said that's gonna be
changing
as well.
That.
We're changing that for sure.
Yep.
But for now, Size Fen, Spin the Block Comedy, and I have Fen and Friends podcast as well. And I have My Delusion special coming out soon. It's just getting edited that we shot at the Triad Theater.
I love the Triad.
Yeah, that was my third one. You know, I'm just keep shooting stuff out. You know, when the powers that may be do find me, they're gonna be like, "Dang, this kid been working."
Yep.
You know,
that's all that matters. Keep that catalog full.
Yeah, keep that catalog full. So thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
So be sure to follow him at Size Fen while you still can before he changes it, because it's really hard to spell Guillaume.
Yeah. Word.
You can also follow us here at Old School New School Comedy on Instagram at Old School New School Comedy, and you can follow me as well at Christy Miller Comedy on all the socials. And so please follow us, like us, leave a comment, subscribe to the show, follow us on Apple and Spotify, and also the most important thing, don't forget to share the show. We love you.
For sure.
Good night.